Okay, so this is going to be absolutely amazing to witness. Like Marcello was saying, we have the Meter Actor strategy, which originally started off as a TCG exclusive with one or two cards way back when. It now received a great new wave of support thanks to Supreme Darkness. And then, of course, we have the Atlantean Mermail strategy, which also recently received brand new support thanks to Supreme Darkness, and as we are well and truly well aware of the deck's capabilities. So we're going to be seeing these strategies start off. We all know how powerful it can be with the Atlantean Mermails, so the Meter Actors are also going to be very, very interesting. So it looks like, as we see in the hand of Liam, that we're starting off with the brand new Meter Actor spell. So this one, I believe, lets you excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and you get to add a excavated Meter Actor card. I've also seen, if you actually take a peek into Liam's hand, that there is also a good old-fashioned Danger Snake. Talk about converging two TCG exclusive archetypes to see how they operate together. It looks like Liam is also a little bit unfamiliar with the strategy itself, so he's having to read the card to find out whether it is worth using one of those all-important hand traps in the form of something like an Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs.
Ooh, let's take a look. Quite some interesting, cards revealed there. A lot of information also coming Liam way. He knows that those, Nibiru's are there, which, by the way, as a reminder, April 10 with Quarter Century Stampede, you will be able to get your hands on the alternate art for anyone who is missing it. It looks absolutely sick.
So of all of the Meter Actors to reveal, he does get to reveal the Gigadra. So this is one of the better ones that can kind of start as an extender or a general starter. So this one allows you to discard a card to special summon a level 3 normal monster from the hand or deck. Now I can't actually wait to see the normal monster he's about to summon on this one if his deck list is reflective. So if this is going to be, there it is, good old baby dragon. And the fact of the matter is this is where the dangers also come in to provide additional synergy, because being able to be discarded in the form of something like the Danger Sukanoko will allow it to come back to the field. So this is just going to enhance the capabilities to make some rank-free plays, and some of the rank-free Meter Actor monsters are incredible.
I mean, I'm loving this. Round 1, we get to see Blue Eyes White Dragon, now Baby Dragon. I mean, it's a trip down memory lane for sure, and Joey fans will be screaming right now. So.
Exactly that, and the first one that we are going to be seeing is the brand new Meter Actor Exegard. So this one allows you to detach material from this card, either special summon a Meter Actor monster from the deck, or add a Meter Actor spell or trap from the deck to the hand. Now we already have the best spell, in my opinion, to have for the Meter Actor strategy, so it's going to be very interesting to see if we're going to get another Meter Actor monster from the deck, as this will allow him to move into another rank-free monster.
Yeah, I mean, it is the key card in the extra deck as well, the only shoe-off that he's playing, this Exegard, so, is willing to use it multiple times throughout this duel. And
yeah, so what makes Exegard so good is if your opponent normal or specials a monster or monsters except during the damage step, you get to add up to 2 materials from this card to the hand. The best thing about that is Meter Actors have this very cool ability that allow them to utilize the spell to attach cards from the top of their deck to their XYZ monster. So in theory, there's actually the ability, as we're about to see here, of adding an Ash Blossom from one of the materials attached to your Meter Actor XYZ, which is incredible. So for clarity on the Meter Actor Meltdown, just so that everyone is aware, is during the main phase you excavate the top 6. Apologies, I did say top 5 earlier. You get to add an excavated Meter Actor card, which is already seen take place. You place the rest on the top of the deck in any order. You can also get to add 1 card attached to a rank-free XYZ monster you control to the hand. So that is another way that they'll be able to take one of the materials that's been attached to their XYZ. Yeah. It kind of gives me the feeling a little bit of Time Thief Redoer, when you always used to take either your opponent's cards or your own cards and attach them to materials.
And this is a great addition. It's a one-off in the deck as it's searchable. It's the Meter Actor Critical Counter Trap, and pretty much negating any action that your opponent can do. Is it a spell or trap or monster effect? So it's quite useful, and it also has this additional benefit as the archetype does of attaching additional materials. So it's quite a good setup here, and I'm interested to see what the ending field will look like for Michael.
Exactly, and this is the best thing about the Meter Actors, is they don't really restrict you to any particular type of level or rank or anything along those lines. So you will be able to see in a second, it will open up the door to either some of your more generic rank-free monsters, maybe something like a Gossip Shadow to protect from the Biru, but then you also have the option, as we're seeing here, to go into the full armored XYZ line, which can work its way up from a rank 3 all the way to a rank 7. So at the moment we're going to be detaching 2 materials from the full armor to torpedo to draw an additional card. And this has all come off the back of relatively 1.5 cards,
Pretty much,
or
yeah.
2 cards at most if you want to count the Sukonoko as the discard. But it looks like straight away we have 2 Ash Blossoms attached to the material of the Exodard, and that's going to be able to, in theory, if the sequences play out correctly, allow them to be added from that monster as material back to the hand, which is a very, very good ability, I suppose. And then on top of that, we did see that, as you mentioned earlier, that a Nibiru was revealed in the top 5. So until those cards get reshuffled, which they did previously for the torpedo draw, it can now be anything that gets attached.
And here comes that full armored X, Y, Z axes. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to line up another form of interaction during his opponent's turn. So we already know that we have the access to the Meteoractor counter trap. We're then going to be adding full armored XYZ to that, which can lead into another additional XYZ monster, which will probably be working your way up into the rank 7 full armored XYZ. And that's really where the aggression is going to come into play.
And here comes the Nibiru from the top out there, which can be relevant later on. So seems like we are done, but wow, so many spell and traps. It seems like it's you know, kind of a new trend in some of these decks we're seeing today, where they set up a lot of spell and traps interruptions. So maybe moving on, we'll see more of those Feather Duster in the main deck. Although here they wouldn't be as effective, given that the critical can negate it, and we are seeing right away the full armored Xyz. Let's see.
Yeah, so what I find quite scary about this is there's still just a Danger Sukonoko sitting on the board. It wasn't even needed. It was just an additional, just free discard fodder.
Support, yeah.
Stuck in between a Dark Knight Lancer and a Meteoractor. Scary looking monster as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna just ask his opponent to, you know, make sure how many interruptions am I really facing right now. Most importantly, this full armor Dark Knight Lancer that has come down this turn.
Yeah, I feel that one of the very important things in regards to Yu-Gi-Oh! Is making sure you understand all of the effects, especially the ones that are visible to you. And the reason I mention that is because of Meltdown does have some very additional effects as well. So this is, if your XYZ monster activates this effect, you get to attach the top card of your deck to a Meteoractor XYZ. So that is very, very important. It's just any XYZ monster. It doesn't need to be a Meteoractor XYZ monster that activates. So this also means that if he was to activate an effect off of Dark Knight Lancer, that will then allow him to provide another material to his Meteoractor as well.
And this is straight off the pass, the 1 infantry drawn with the Abystios, yeah. Looks like a 2014, if not even 2013 type of opening.
Yeah, this is the one thing that I really do love about the Mermail Atlantean strategy is all of the monsters have their own inbuilt, whether it dealing with a front row, whether it be dealing with a spell and trap kind of card, and they just kind of keep getting more and more advantage. The chain block capabilities that it can also provide as well are very, very effective. And this is straight away pulling out the trap card.
Critical activated right away. And yeah, here we can see this additional benefit. This is such a unique interaction. Yeah.
I can imagine an Atlantean's worst nightmare in this particular matchup would be to see a Droll and Lockbird be attached to one of the XYZs, because that could very easily kind of highlight things to come.
And yeah, now in a new chain we can use the infantry, but can we really accomplish much? It's going to depend on the rest of the end. Obviously, Neptabis is the key card that just enables the Atlanta Mermail deck to do so much.
So this is obviously quite important as well, is that the Meteoractor critical, once you've activated it, you negate the activation, so you don't destroy it, but then you do have to apply the following effect depending on the card type you've added from the material. So we did see Ash Blossom added, which means that Mike will need to place a monster or one card from his hand onto the bottom of his deck, but you're basically trading an Ash Blossom for any random card in your hand, which is, I think most players would take that 9 times out of 10. Yeah. Here comes another Abystios.
Yeah, the thing is, I think only the on-field effect is once per turn, and you can use the one from hand multiple times. So maybe not what Mike was hoping for.
Just double check the Abystios on that one. Correct, it's all one effect, so I believe, so unfortunately, that won't be going anywhere. And the biggest disappointment of something like this is you've provided a little bit more of hand knowledge of exactly what you have. Now, counting out of the 6 cards that Liam has, we do know 3 of them already. So it's still 3 unknown, and Neptibus is definitely not one to be disappointed about. And there we go, Neptibus returns to the hand. Yeah, I think Liam is currently up there.
Wow, Liam has seen enough. The combo deck gets out comboed or no? What? Not maybe a little bit of
They're just trying to clarify.
Okay. Wait a second, let me check the Hexagard. A monster you can, yeah. Because we do have the baby dragon in graveyard, right? Yeah.
Correct.
So.
Yeah.
So we can bounce.
I think they're
I'm
just
not
trying
sure if
to.
it had to do maybe with the infantry as well, but I believe the protection. Let me check again. Full armored XYZ.
Yeah, so I think they're just trying to repair the game state to get it back to the state that it needs to be in. So we're all on the same page on this one.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, we are just repairing the game stat to what it was with this Teus discarding the fish.
But then it needs to repair from there, as the
Yeah,
Bistius can't be activated twice.
Yeah.
Oh, the Abystius does resolve.
No, you. Yeah, it's what I was saying is you can use the it's 2 different effects. You can special summon as many as you want.
Correct.
But you
Yes.
can
Correct.
use the field. I guess they stopped him at some point. That's why.
Yeah. So the first Abystius was stopped via the.
No, they stopped him maybe from using it.
I see what you mean. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think I thought he could do it, but maybe the judge thought it was just one effect, and then he was stopped from using the Teus, and then they realized he could actually do it, as I was saying.
Yeah.
And then they allowed him as he should be. Okay, everything is fixed. So yeah, this would happen, and yeah, now we know about the Neptabis. It's gonna be sent back.
Returns to the hand,
Essentially the same spot, but the difference is that the drone lock was also revealed and activated by Mike. I mean, this hexagon, the keeps on giving. Yeah.
Yeah, provided with 2 Ash Blossoms and the Beery guaranteed, and then an infinite impermanence as well.
What a card. And I mean, we picked up our cards before the draw. The only difference is that we have the Teus. Okay, Minstrel. But I mean, let's see. Ash, Nibiru. I mean, I guess Ash is kind of mandatory, but no. Okay.
Okay, well, we know that there is a Neptibus in the hand.
Yeah, but the thing is...
but we've already used the normal summon. We've got infantry.
They're called by the grain. Yeah, I mean,
that's
Liam has seen enough. Yeah, I mean, took a little bit longer than expected, but the result was pretty much just the same. 2 overwhelming opener from Mike, but I mean, this Hexagon just and essentially all of us know, how bad of a feeling it is to draw an Entrap as the 6th card. In this case, it pretty much does the same. So let's see whether that will be the case with Liam going first in this duel. And also, let me take a look at what his opening feel could be.
Yeah, I feel that Mermouths could be one of the most dangerous combo style decks when they do get to start and pretty much go off, especially unanswered. But the deck itself is very, very well balanced. It still has the ability to kind of play for a lot of interactions. And
I've got some bad news for Mike, because he's going all in. Like, when he goes first, he has 3 Minstrel, and he has both Mulling Glacier and the Barrier Statue. He has everything. So possibly he could go for like absolutely insane combo, but let's see.
If one of those minstrels are in the open hand, this could be a very...
That's the best way to start things off. Getting that Dragoon or, you know, a lot of different options available. The best normal summon by far. Makes sense.
Straight into the heavy infantry,
Yeah.
definitely. See if there's any interaction from Mike as this builds up. Just kind of see where we go from here. Looks like that is an Atlantean Dragoons. Oh, there is that all-dreaded Droll and Lockbird.
Yeah, you mentioned one of the most annoying pieces. Still, the Shadow Squad will be able to push more, but can you pilot through the Droll?
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the very big benefits that the Mermail Atlantean strategy or Atlantean Mermail strategy received from the more recent sets, is that it does give them a slight bit more of the ability to play through certain cards like Droll and Lockbird.
Absolutely. And, the Pike, not really ideal. Yeah.
Yeah, not the ideal one you want to be summoning out of the deck.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. Do we have a way to push through? I mean, obviously, you really want to get to the Coelegant. That's the, you know, the Gypsy King. And another interruption that you cannot really search with the Teus due to the Droll.
Still provides a benefit. I feel the one good thing about the infantry is the level adaptation can be quite important here. And sending with the Dragoons.
Yeah, just look at how much damage this Droll is doing. Like, we would have had like a full combo from Liam otherwise. This was premium. And yeah, we also have all different levels at the moment. So
correct. There might be the ability. Is there ability to use the Marincess? Is there another level? No, there's no way to get a... well, you've got the Dragoons, I suppose. If you can try and get another level 4 on the board, maybe try and work your way into Shark and to Toad.
Okay, no, luckily he didn't go for Pikes. Yeah, that seems like...
So we might have adapted the levels thanks to the infantry on this one to get into the Gaius.
And this could be it. Wow. Oof. Wow. The Drone Lock really putting in a lot of work. And Liam just setting one, passing back to Mike. 5 cards. And not really staring, a threatening field. Again, looks like something out of 2013.
Ultimate Slayer is going to be very, very effective. That deals with the Gaius straight away. Are we going to see another one? So usually you'd send the Adjugator here that will provide you with another form of negation to deal with the field.
You don't really need it.
I don't think you need it, no. So it's going to be very interesting to see if there is another XYZ target that Mike chooses to send. Oh, Downward Magician. Okay, so it's not really going to add more, but being able to hold back an Adjugator if you decide to play that can be quite effective, maybe in a later bit of a stage. But like you said, it just isn't needed at this moment in time. Oh, Terror Top as well.
Look at this. One of my favorite level 3s, engines from back in the day.
Yeah, it's definitely come a long way from Terror Top into Dante, I suppose.
Was it hard drawn?
It looks like the top was hard drawn, yeah.
Oh, quite unfortunate then.
So we know from the 6 cards so far, Ultimate Slayer, Drone Lockbird, Terror Top and Tuck and Tornborg. But just being able to get into your Meteor Axa Exegard can still be massive.
Yeah, 2 more cards in hand from Mike. But this was the start of the show for Game 1, and it's back.
I would like to feel that in this point, unlike in Game 1 where we saw the summon of a monster, we might be trying to add the spell, and that's going to be responded with that Ash Blossom. Oh, the Call by the Grave! Glued to the hand.
I mean, it's the card that sealed Game 1, and it's back.
So I can only imagine off the X-Guard you're going to want to go for the spell, unless he feels he has enough extension in the hand. Oh, okay. Going for the Giga Draw.
Yeah, allows you to special summon it, and we do
Impulse.
Okay.
It's actually very, very interesting back and forth. And what I actually do love about the Meteoractor strategy is the fact that all of the hand traps, the Ghost Sisters, can all technically act as extenders or just additional level 3 monsters for you to be used as overlay material, which is really quite a nice bit of additional synergy.
The field is cleared, and do we have 1 card maybe left from Liam, or even 0? I don't know.
1, 2, 3. That came from the deck. Neptibist.
Who's the owl?
I think it is. Yeah, I think there is just...
Wow.
Top
yeah, he's out of cards.
Oof.
Wow.
Is Mike out of cards as well? We now contemplating link something, or is he going to end it there? He's going to end it there. Could this Neptibist be the heart of the cards?
Let's see.
We know it's a monster.
Obviously, there is no normal. Oh my! No way! No way! Wow.
That is truly the heart of the cards on that one.
And it's the last one as well, right? Because he used 2. So wow. Because he discarded 1 from hand as well from the Teos, right?
Correct, I believe
So
he did.
the 3rd copy. What a throw! This is unbelievable. I gotta feel bad for Mike there. I mean, what a top deck.
Yeah, I don't think you could have cherry-picked a single card in that entire list to be on the top of the deck apart from the Neptubis.
Yeah, because obviously without a normal monster, the Hexaguard cannot bounce it back. And yeah, this is absurd now.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
We know that there is going to be no forms of interaction from Mike's side, unfortunately. But we are going to be able to see how the Mermaid Atlanteans is piloted.
Yeah. I mean, we've mentioned that it's arguably the best combo deck when it gets to go first. And when you're able to combo through a simplified game state, I mean, there is not much to debate. So it's only up to Liam.
Correct. I feel that these are probably the most important moments, though.
Yeah.
I feel that when you know the pressure's a little bit more on when you need to make sure that the combo goes perfectly because you see that end in sight. It's probably the most point of maybe mistakes that happen. But it looks like Liam knows exactly what he's doing. You'd like to think that they've been in these positions before.
But I think Mike is going to make his life easy. So picks up his card, will be the winner of Game 3. Nice fist bump. Let's see.
Okay, I would be absolutely shocked if anything bar Mike going first on this one, but we will soon see. I still feel that that is a very well-valid strategy to completely catch your opponent off guard, but sometimes it could probably be one of the riskiest strategies, passing your priority, unless you're playing something like Tempire Dragon, I guess.
Fair enough, and yeah, it does seem like he's going first. Let's take a look at what will be the opener. Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be one of the Agitator. I say Agitator, it's basically the crocodile. But this is going to be one of the Meteoractor's Explorator. So you get to reveal this card in the hand and discard one other card to add a level 3 normal monster from the deck or graveyard to the hand. It's not one that you want to be relying on heavily, but this does get that normal monster into rotation, which we saw in duel number 2, how important it was having that normal monster, whether it be on the field or ultimately in the graveyard, to provide you with those additional effects that you kind of want your Exegard to have.
Yeah, and we discarded that Virtue Stream, but we are Ash Blossom. Do we have other ways to push? We do.
So there comes the Gigadra. This is obviously one of the most ideal starter for the Meteoractor cards, bar the spell card itself. Still a very, very good way. And we already know this is the one good thing about being able to hand check. Oh, there's a Fluvaros as well.
Wow.
2 very good hand traps to have in conjunction with each other. It's going to be interesting to see. And this is the one thing that I always find very, very fascinating about a card like Fluvaros is whether you decide to take the challenge and allow your opponent to draw as many cards as you wish because you feel that your end field will be too strong for them to break, or do you just keep it as simplified as possible?
I mean, in this case, it's kind of a deck that doesn't like to overextend, but you surely at least make that Hexaguard for sure. I mean, you set up the Baby Dragon Engrave so that you have that nice bouncing effect for the Neptubis normal summon. And you still, get to add one more, so it's a good trade.
Correct. Yeah, I think we've both kind of seen the importance of how important Exegard here is. I suppose it's also very important that we know that there is not going to be an Ash Blossom coming Mike's way on this one. And as you kind of pass the check for possibly an infinite impermanence or an Effect Veiler, you know that there is a very high possibility that your spell card will be able to activate and in theory resolve as well. But
just like in the previous game, the answer probably will depend on how many non-engine pieces is Mike holding in.
Oh.
Okay.
The Gigadra again as the Civ card. But it looks like he's going to be taking the trap card, which is absolutely fine. That does provide another level of protection.
Great.
Slash
Great
negation.
pickup.
Yeah.
It's a one-off in the deck, so I mean, you feel good when you're able to excavate it. And
I feel, especially considering the game state with the Fluvaros, Mike, that's probably the best card he could have excavated.
By
I don't
far.
think you would want to take an extender in any need because then it would have led you to want to make another XYZ.
Absolutely.
And setting these 2 cards and passing with the Hexaguard in full effect with the normal monster in the graveyard is going to allow him to have that ability to return a monster from the field to the hand. We know the counter track is in rotation, but we do not know one set card and whatever else Mike may have in his hand.
Something interesting is that we could be seeing some Xyz Anchor from the side deck, which are usually there for Dweller, but I mean, I think they work pretty well in this matchup.
Yeah, I think that Hexaguard is very, very important. The fact of the matter is that the counter trap also relies on you to have an XYZ on the board.
So I would be down. So let's see if Liam agrees and if he has drawn into them, because he's selling 3 copies, which is quite popular nowadays for Mermail. But not gonna be the case. We start by discarding the Shadow Guard, Shadow Squad, and yeah, trying to summon that Poseidra.
Yeah, Poseidra is an amazing new addition to the Mermail strategy. It kind of acts as an aggressor, a disruptor, and it really does put the pressure on early doors, exactly what we're about to see here, how it can kind of pressure this board. And you say about XYZ Encore, this is probably the Mermail Atlantean equivalent in order to return that Hexaguard. Be interesting as to whether or not Mike would like the Hexaguard to stay on the field. Honestly, I probably feel that you should try and protect it where at all possible. So we might see the counter trap in reaction to this. But he probably doesn't want to be using it as early, especially when there's still a Neptibus that could possibly be summoned down here. We've also got the infantry as well to put in a bit of work.
Yeah, essentially Liam is going to make it hard for Mike to, be holding onto his interruptions. This could be the critical. But it seems like we are going to use the Hexaguard.
To return.
Yeah, to return the Poseidra. And it's gone. Yeah, now it's gone, and the Neptibus is there. And are we really out of interruptions from Mike, is the question. Because if that is the case, this could be a quick one.
Ooh.
Yeah, doesn't seem like he has much. Wow.
We know one of the spell and traps will be the counter trap, which is ultimately... Yeah, so unfortunately the critical will pretty much be ineffective at this moment in time because you won't be able to add a material from a Meteor Actor XYZ because you no longer control it, unfortunately.
Oh.
And there's the Minstrel.
That Nibiru was there, one of the last hopes for Mike, but sniped out of it by the Minstrel, and this is starting to look like it's going to be Liam's match.
Yeah, unless one of the unknown set card is something incredibly amazing. And I'm trying to rack my brain of exactly what it could be that could really throw a spanner in the works. I don't even know if a Gozen match would be as effective right now to kind of slow the build of the Atlantean Mermail strategy.
I mean, not really giving their old water.
Oh, sorry, not Gozen, Rivalry. That's the one.
Yeah.
So I feel Rivalry could probably be your last hope, but even then I feel that we're way past that point.
It's rough.
There comes the Coelacanth. This is going to set up all types of protection. We already know that Mike only has a Gigadra left in the hand with that Nibiru not being able to do anything right now. So I feel we could very easily see maybe double shark.
Impermanence. Yes, it is a slow roll impermanence, but
maybe that impermanence will get enough for Mike to live another turn.
I mean, the strength of Liam and by having discarded a 1/1, that's all you need to know.
I don't believe we've even seen the normal summon yet, and I could be wrong. Correct me if I am, but there's still 4 more cards that could be anything more to this board, to this field. That could be absolutely incredible. Just to kind of finish it off, I felt that imperm could be the game swinger there.
Yeah, I don't think he. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day. Give up on quite some damage to try and push even further.
Do you push for the OTK here? I mean, you already know that the spell and trap is the counter trap. Yeah, so there's nothing to worry about. So it's just about getting that 8,000 life points of damage on the field.
Yeah.
Working our way through Coral Anemone to bring back the Minstrel. Minstrel's additional effect to look at to excavate the top 3. Not many people consider Minstrel that way. It's more so just the hand knowledge. Gets putting 1 more water back to the bottom of the deck. It's a very interesting approach.
Okay. Yep.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Just gonna attack, push some damage with 8 minutes left. Make sure that at least you're ahead in terms of damage. But what's the plan afterwards?
Oh, okay. So we're just passing
there. That's it. Wow.
That is very interesting. I feel there could have been more damage prior to making this
Definitely.
this link of play. We're going to see the Gigadra come down. Now, this is a very interesting. I'm trying to get into the mind of Liam on this one and try and figure out why he's made this play here. Is there a way for the Mermails to clear their own board off, their own field off? Are we trying to push hard to activate the second Fluvaros?
But I mean, we can access an interruption if we want through the heavy infantry later on, so that's probably also where his mind is at. At the same time, I mean, playing on stream, we've mentioned, is never easy, but if we track back at the previous turn, where he was with the Dragoon and the Coelicant, those are the kind of spots where you gotta realize, okay, what am I gonna do? Should I just attack? Because he would have pushed a lot more damage and then could have done the same thing in Mayfield's Jew. So, you know, those are small things, small details that though can be relevant. But, I mean, yeah, it's still gonna try and make the best of what he's got, hoping that, you know, this simplified game state still makes it quite hard for Mike to find something to fight back.
Yeah. I feel the one thing that...
Again, his favorite card.
That Call by the Grave is putting in some serious work here.
Third time in a row that Mike has thrown it at critical moments, but wow.
I feel the one thing that Liam needs to be very, very careful of is if Mike is able to produce a XYZ, that then means the counter trap is back online. So that could be something that provides another layer of protection if he's able to get there.
Yeah, it's going to be closer than expected. And also something quite important to mention that from time to time you tend to forget is that Call by the Grave will have a lingering effect. So next turn, Neptabis is also out. So, you know.
Correct.
We'll see.
Now, I believe the Gigadra has discarded the Nibiru.
Yeah, he's out of cards right now.
Attempt to revive the baby dragon from the graveyard, which will then open up the door to go into an Exegard, which leading into the spell. We all know how that combo can be very, very devastating with the counter trap already active.
Wow.
Oof.
Oh, no.
Typhon.
We actually change plans and go for the Typhon. And now that missed damage is going to be relevant just for a couple of moments. Luckily, there are still 5 minutes remaining. But that pretty much leaves him out of option, right?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, this is very, very interesting. I'm assuming that there was a way of stopping the Gigadra bringing back the level 3. Oh, apologies. It's the level 3 normal monster comes from the hand or deck, so there would have been no more targets left.
But that's a quick pass by Liam. Wow. I mean, this is quickly, you know, taking an interesting turn.
Yeah, of course.
And there are a lot of good top decks, but that doesn't seem to be the case, and we attack over Apurulia. Can we really ride this Typhon to victory?
Taking it back to a very simplified game state. We also know that the Call by the Grave lingering effect, if you mentioned earlier, has now kind of worn off.
This changes things quite a bit, because we are able to draw a card and then use the squad. Checking the targets that are left. Can be a deck that drains resources quite fast, and here comes the final Neptabis, as you have mentioned, also free for Call by the Grave.
Yep.
And free to use its effect the next turn, given that there is only one unknown face down card from Mike.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this develops. Again, we know that Mike unfortunately has one bluff along the back row or along the spell and trap zone. We know one unknown. You would probably like to feel that maybe an imperm was used earlier if that was the case. So it's going to be very interesting to see what that could be. As you mentioned, there's only 3 minutes left on the clock. The life point difference is 1,300.
And that's big. Here comes the heavy infantry. I saw that is a spell set, actually, the unknown one. So, I mean, the Call by the Grave is gone. So it cannot be another one. Although it would explain a lot.
Yeah, so as we resolve the Poseidon and return in the Typhon, starts to open up the door. Not that the Mermails really need to be going into any monsters above the threshold. Should be, is this enough? Well, this could definitely do a bigger chunk of damage. Is it enough to complete the 6,400?
Not quite. We are prioritizing pushing damage due to time, most likely. Only 2 minutes remain, and you know, that 1,300 difference was probably what was worrying Liam a lot.
Yeah, that's the one thing you don't really want to be doing is spending too long in your main phase one when you do know that you need to be getting damage on the board. Take the damage first, and then proceed to kind of build a much stronger field during your main phase two to make sure that you minimize your opponent's ability to kind of come back into the game, because you certainly don't want to be doing that with such little time on the clock.
Yeah, it seems like now he is the one in the lead in all aspects of the game, and this allows him to just move to main phase two, combo off. And yeah, there seems to be really, really small hope of what Mike could do. And finally, we could be seeing, although surprisingly, after 44 minutes, you know, oh, no, not quite.
Ooh, Nibiru.
Nibiru. So another one was drawn. One was discarded by Mac earlier on, but he drew into the second copy. And wow, this, yeah, really is the game that keeps
on giving.
Wow.
I think this is going to be a very frantic final 60 seconds on the clock for Mike.
Absolutely. One crucial draw. Can he pick up any Meteoractor to play with his Terror Trap? And there is an infinite
Answer directly with
impermanence.
the infinite impermanence.
Resolves. Yeah, gonna be down to the wire.
Territor isn't the worst top that you could possibly be asking for, but
Oh,
that infinite impermanence definitely does, makes it a lot more difficult to carry on your plays, unfortunately. So next best thing we could do is make a link summon. Again, just watching the clock tick down, just trying to see what links are available. It looks like there's going to be an SP Little Knight. Isn't available to really do anything, as it wasn't made with a monster special summon from the extra deck, so we won't be able to banish on summon. The token, or the Nibiru token, is going to be very, very strong because it included a Poseidra, a Neptibus, I believe an Abystius, and a Pike. So strong enough to deal with an SP Little Knight. Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be wrapping it up there. Liam kind of